Okay, we have some new vocabulary to learn because we're starting a new chapter in our math book. And so we're in chapter 5, and we have some words that we need to know that are going to help us with our math in chapter 5. So the thing we're going to be doing in chapter 5 is adding. So some of you know about adding, and we're just going to review it. And some of you, this might be a new thing. That's fine. We're just going to review the word. So the word add means that I'm putting together. So if I have 3 birds, I'm going to use my red blocks for 3 birds. 1, 2, 3. And then 2 more birds come and sit beside them. I'm going to use my blue blocks for that. 1, 2. If I add these groups, I'm going to put them together and find out how many I have total. So I have 3 plus 2, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. So I added the 3 birds or the 3 red blocks to the 2 birds or the 2 blue blocks, and I got the number 5. So when we add, another word for adding is to join. So I'm putting my group, these are reversed this time, my group of 2 birds with my group of 3 birds, and I'm joining them together and counting them as a whole group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have adding, and another word for adding is to join. Okay, when we add, when we're writing an addition equation, we use a plus sign. It looks like this. It looks like a T. But in math, we call this plus. So we use a plus sign to say, here, let me write my plus sign, to say that I have 4 blue squares, 1, 2, 3, 4, plus 1, 2 red squares. And that plus sign is just a symbol that tells us we need to add these together. And we're also going to use an equal sign. Equals means I'm about to tell you the answer. So my answer to 4 plus 2 is 6, or equals 6. And then here on this one, I actually have a different set of numbers. I have 3 plus 2, so I'm going to take one of these away. I have 1, 2, 3 plus 1, 2. And how many does that equal? It makes 5, right? All right, so equal can sometimes be the same as in all. If you see in all, I'm saying that I took 3 and I added 2 more, and so all together I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in all is another phrase that we might use. And another way to say in all, and you'll hear it in your, if you were an addition, or if you were a plus sign book, if you watched that video already, they use the word sum. So the sum is if I add my 2 blocks plus my 3 blocks, and I get it equals 5. 5 is the answer, but it's also the sum. The sum is the answer to an addition sentence. So let's just go back and review these really quick. We have the sum, which is the answer to an addition sentence. You can also say in all. In all means I added these together, and this is how many I have in all. We have our plus sign that goes between the two numbers, and it tells us that we're going to add. We have our equal sign, which goes after the two numbers that you're adding together, and it tells me, oh, here's the answer. I'm about to read the answer. And what we're doing in this chapter is we are adding. We're putting two groups of numbers together to make a bigger group. Whenever you add, you're always going to have a bigger group or the same amount. And I can show you the same amount really quick. The only time you would have the same amount is if I added I had 3 red blocks and I added 0 blue blocks. How many blocks do I have? I still have 1, 2, 3, right? So I still have the same amount of blocks because I didn't add any more. But when I'm adding or joining together, I will never get a smaller number. I will always get a bigger number or the same number. And another word for add is to join. Okay, now we have this little foldable. You don't have to do this, but I thought it would be a nice little exercise for us to do together to practice writing our sentences, our number sentences. So number sentences are different from sentences that we write with our words. So this number sentence says 3 plus 1 equals, and it's a foldable. So if you are not sure about 3 plus 1, you could always use your, if you have your bingo pieces, chips, that's what they're called. If you have your bingo chips that are 2 different colors, you can always do it that way. You can add 1, 2, 3 plus 1. But this foldable is really cool because I cut it out and I folded it, and then I cut these little strips and they open like a book. And so I can see 1, 2, 3 balloons plus 1 balloon. How many balloons do I have in all? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 3 plus 1 equals 4. We'll do one more together, and if you want to practice this on your own, this would be a good tool for you to use to practice writing number sentences. 2 plus 2 equals what? Well, I can take my 2 blocks here, and I can say 2 plus 2 equals 1, 2, 3, 4. Or I could also just open this page in this book and look at my flowers and see I have 1, 2 yellow flowers, and I have 1, 2 pink flowers, and all together my sum is 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2 plus 2 equals 4. So if you want to use this to write down your number sentences, your addition sentences, you can do that. Or you can just take a plain piece of paper like Miss Simons has here, and you can write your sentences here. Either way, I just want you to know that the plus sign is telling you to add, and the equal sign is telling you, I'm about to give you the answer. It's right here on the other side of me. Okay, great job today, guys.